Today we're looking at something called progressive muscle relaxation. So let's start by, what is it? What is progressive muscle relaxation? It's a simple relaxation technique which involves contracting and releasing muscle groups around the body systematically. So usually you'd go from head to toe or toe to head. It was developed by this guy, Edmund Jacobson, a doctor and psychiatrist and physiologist. And basically all that was around at that time was psychoanalysis, right, for things like stress and anxiety. And as a physiologist, Edmund Jacobson was saying that he thought stress and anxiety was a lot more to do with the body, and actually you could treat it via the body rather than via talking. And that a big part of what happens in the body under stress or anxiety is muscular tension, and that you can train and practice to relax those muscles. And in fact, if each muscle in your body is relaxed, it's quite hard to be simultaneously anxious, let's say. The word relax that we use to mean to be calm or to not be stressed actually came out of this. To be used in that way came out of this exercise. And he says here, to be relaxed is the direct physiological opposite of being excited or disturbed. So generally it's used as a relaxation practice to help with, say, chronic stress and anxiety. It's also used as part of what's called systematic desensitization or graded exposure. This is a behavior therapy tradition, right? So let's say you're going to expose someone to something they're scared of, like a phobia. You might start with something that's 1 out of 10 scary from them on that scale, and you pair that with some form of relaxation. And this might be one of the things you do, maybe breathing techniques as well. But if you can have the experience of being exposed to that scary stimuli, I don't know, spiders or getting on a plane or something, while simultaneously being relaxed, your body can associate the two conditions, and slowly you can decondition the fear. That's the plan anyway. So 2 main ways it's used in psychotherapy today. Quote here, if a response inhibiting anxiety can be made to occur in the presence of anxiety evoking stimuli, it will weaken the bond between the stimuli and the anxiety. If you compare what you're scared with also being more relaxed, being slightly calmer than you expect, then over time you can reduce the fear. So just some guidance for therapists using this with clients. I pulled this from a CBT treatment plan book. But some guidance would be to make sure you offer a client a rationale for why you do this. So it's not just, we're going to try this, but they understand and connect with themselves how stress and anxiety does have a physiological component. And sometimes that can be chronic muscular tension. And that this is an exercise that can help with that. You know, that it's hard in a way to be physiologically relaxed and anxious simultaneously. We might tie that into what the client actually wants from therapy, right? So making sure the rationale fits with why they're here, why they're in therapy. We can describe it as a skill, right? And that skills require practice. So it's not just like, oh, I tried it and it didn't work. But it's something we can, the more we do, the more we get to know our bodies, the more we might find relaxation in it. One thing I would add here that's not in this guidance is informed consent, right? I invited you guys to do it. I said, don't do it if you don't want to. It's an invitation. I never tell someone to do anything. This is an invitation. You can choose to do this and you can choose not to do this. Absolutely up to you. What the invitation is I will guide you to scan up your body from toe to head, tensing different muscle groups for about 10 seconds, then releasing them, and then seeing what they feel like for about 10 seconds, and then moving up to the next muscle group. Like any exercise, it's not for everyone, right? We might say running is good for you, but if you've got bad knees or heart condition, running's not good for you. So I'm trusting you to also know about yourself when tensing certain muscle groups might be bad for you, and please don't do it if you think that's the case. Just so I can give you a visual example, I'm not going to start with the arms, but my arms are on the screen. So what tensing a muscle group might look like, for example, is with the arms and the hands, making a fist and bringing my fist up to my shoulder, and then tensing scrunching the fingers and tensing the arm. And that's what I mean by contracting a muscle group in this case. And I would hold that, not necessarily at 100%, I don't want to strain anything, but 70, 80% of my tension for about 10 seconds, and then let go. And what we're doing here is noticing the difference between tense muscles and relaxed muscles. And we might even find along the journey that muscles are already tensed that we didn't know were tensed because of chronic tension. I'll start by just inviting us all to slow our breath down a bit, notice our breath, and slightly reduce the speed of it. This is not predominantly a breathing exercise, but it's always good to bring these things in conjunction with each other. So if we start with the toes, I invite you to scrunch your toes over like that. And we'll do that for 10 seconds. So for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and release. And then just spend this moment after you release, noticing the sensations there as you relax those toes. And then we'll do the slightly opposite movement. So we're going to now point our toes towards us and straighten the legs. So we're aiming to stretch out the toes, the feet, and the calf muscles all at the same time. So we're pointing our toes towards us and straightening the legs, and tensing the calf muscles. I'll do that for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. And again, just spend the next few moments noticing sensations, what it feels like to have the difference between a tense muscle group and a relaxed muscle group. Then we'll move to the upper legs and buttocks all at the same time. So the way to do this is we can squeeze our thighs together and then squeeze your buttocks and your thighs all at the same time. So we'll do that for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. And just noticing the difference again between tense muscles and relaxed muscles. Then we'll move to our abdominal and lower back. So in this one, we tense our abdominal muscles by kind of squeezing our belly button into our lower back, and we get our lower back in at the same time. Might need to hold your breath with this one, so just do what feels comfortable. But we'll squeeze these for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and relax. Then we'll move to the chest and upper back. So here we're looking to kind of pull our shoulder blades together. So it's almost like we're pulling our shoulders back, and then we're tensing our chest muscles at the same time. So we'll do that for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. We're really starting to enter the area where chronic tension can be held now. So you might find muscles already tensed in these areas. For example, the shoulders, which we'll move to next. And we do this one by squeezing the shoulders up to towards the ears, like this. So we'll do this for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Spend a moment noticing the difference there. And we'll do the hands and the arms all at the same time. So that's one like I showed you at the beginning. We squeeze our fists. We bring those fists to our shoulders and squeeze our arms. And we do that for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Noticing again how that feels in the arms and the hands and the fingers. What the difference is like between a tense muscle and a relaxed muscle. Now, I want us to be very careful with the next one. The next one's the neck. And so, be gentle with yourself. But to tense our neck muscle, we're just going to look up towards the ceiling. If you've got a bad neck, please don't do this. But start looking up until you start to feel the back of your neck tense. And then we'll hold that for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 3, 2, 1, and bring it back down. Now the next one's the jaw. I can't do this and count simultaneously because with the jaw, we're going to squeeze our teeth together, okay, and try to tense these jaw muscles. So you won't hear me count through this one, but I'll do it in my head. So if we squeeze our teeth together at 10, and relax. And now this one, I can imagine people might want to turn their cameras off for, because we're going to squeeze all our face muscles together. So that's closing the eyes tightly, squeezing the muscles in. It will look something like this. So feel free to join me for that. I will do that for 10. And relax. So now we can just give ourselves a moment with our whole body, noticing the difference between before and after, remembering the difference between a tense muscle and a relaxed muscle.